Today, let's take a look at my new Jupiter commercial juice press. Let's see if it's worth the cash. Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm your host, Derrick Schommer. Today I wanted to take a look at my 2017 brand new Christmas gift. It's the Juniper Commercial Juice Press in black. Let's take a second to break through some of the key attributes of this product. 2,300 pounds of pressure can be applied to this handle. I don't really know what that means, if it's got any value to me, but I think it means it's freaking strong. It's got a heavy duty base. It weighs 16 pounds. And it's got little suction cups, so I can keep it on my bar. It's got a nice hand wash funnel in here that you could be able to pull out. We'll show that. It's made out of cast iron and stainless steel. And the competing product that I had spent time looking at was the Hamilton Beach 932. So, also it comes in white if you want it in white or black. The black one's $105 with Prime shipping on Amazon. You could probably get it other places. Links will be forward below. Affiliate links if you want to click on them to help me make a couple dollars here and there. The white one is, I don't know why it's $129, but it's in white instead of black. Whatever. I like the black one. I went with the bar, so that's what I did. So we filmed a month worth of episodes last week, and then I had a New Year's Eve party, so I've had a little time with the press. The thing that's really cool is it doesn't spray all over your bar, which is a huge issue for us. What you've seen us use in the show is this. This is a Chef and Orange Squeeze. The second thing you've seen us use in the show is a Chef and Lemon Squeeze. Smaller, bigger. If you're just using lemons and limes, this works fine. If you're using oranges and grapefruits, you're really got to go up to the next level. The Jupiter does all of them, and you don't need to have these specific things. But when you're using this, sometimes the juice squirts out of the side. It's random. So you squeeze the juice and it shoots all the way across the bar. It can arc pretty far. That's slightly annoying. It makes a mess and I lose some of my juice. The other thing that makes a big difference, and this is in full disclosure, I own AwesomeDrinks.com. I sell these. These are about $40. This is less than that. I can't remember. You think I know. But when you're willing to move up, if you're going to be doing a lot of juicing, and it doesn't really have to be commercial. If you have a lot of parties or you've been watching the show and you've been really busting out a lot of drinks, especially those grapefruit drinks, these will get tiring. You squeeze and they take a good amount of force. The other specific key attribute that I like is, this is a little dry because I used it for the show last week, but that rind on the edge, what you really don't want to do is squeeze too deep into that. You don't want to squeeze too much into this because the citrus peel will zest a little bit. That zest is bitter. Great for garnishing and spraying across the top and using where needed, but for a fresh, sweeter juice, you don't want the pith because it's bitter, and you don't want this because it's got that zesty bite to it. What you really want is the flesh. This little guy, when it presses down, is designed to not squeeze too deep into that flesh or the pith, so you're actually going to get a sweeter orange juice. So if you're going to be squeezing oranges, this thing's gonna rock your face off. So, before we juice, let's just take a look. From a cleaning perspective, what I like is that it comes in two parts. I do end up cleaning this because after a party it does get pretty chaotic. But because it comes in two pieces, you've got your funnel or your cone or whatever, and you have this. I believe they're hand wash only. I can already see there's like a little rust spot here, so I wouldn't put these in the dishwasher, especially if it hits the dry cycle, because things get weird that way. I'm sure you could get replacement parts, but whatever. And then these pieces lock in. So you can take this, lock it, and twist it, and it stays in. Then there's two little bumps here. Put it in here, lock it, and it stays in. So you put it right in the center, and then you press down, and that right there is the setup. Now, when you're pouring this through here, I would recommend using a fairly large mouth vessel to capture it. A solo cup if you want to, or a mixing beaker. You can use a jigger, but jiggers are tough because the hole that's in here tends to drain fruit juice out kind of in a random circle. So you have to figure out where it's coming and catch it, and you get some on the bar. You can put a bar mat or whatever under it if you really want to. So it's making the juice. That's it. Now, as you squeeze more, you get more juice. It's not magic, it's power. Then you add the force. And that will maximize the amount of juice you're going to get. But you'll notice it wasn't exactly easy. It does require some level of strength. Most men probably aren't going to have a problem with it. I think some women, especially if they're shorter, if the bar's taller or wherever they're squeezing is taller, they might have a little bit of a hard time with the squeeze. The other thing to keep in mind is you want to hold the base like this. While it does have the little stickies, there's a lot of pressure coming down. And the last thing you need to do is either rip the thing up and have it come off, have it come at your face. So I would hold the base just to be 100% certain. Obviously it's going to be different with the different fruits you squeeze because some of them are going to be easier to squeeze. And then when you pull it off, the grapefruit is just destroyed. And then you need to find a place to put it. Now, if you want to, you could take the whole base off. You could peel off the fruit depending on the type of fruit, but this is sometimes often easier with grapefruit because they're so fleshy. Check it out. It's got like the flesh is jammed in there. And the one thing you do want to remember to do is clean the top of it because it's still going to get kind of messy in there. That's a half a grapefruit. One of the things that this doesn't do that you're still going to either want to supply while you're doing it is to catch some of the flesh. Because as you saw, some of the flesh does poke through, especially if it's a big fleshy fruit. So you could always put something on top of it before you do it and have it kind of like this. That way it catches any of the flesh. Otherwise, what I typically do is I just strain it as I'm using it. Throw your lemon in there, squeeze it, and go. Grapefruits can be tricky. You might need to clean it a little bit more. Because it creates so much juice, you don't necessarily have to juice as much. So juicing 1 or 2 grapefruit at a time isn't usually a big deal, but you're probably going to need to clean it because the flesh just gets jammed within. But with a lemon, it decimates the lemon pretty good, and then you can reuse that right away and just keep pressing lemons. If there's one con to this, is how often people will pinch themselves. I've had a couple people use it, and I've had Dan and Ian, I believe, both pinch themselves. I haven't yet, but I'm sure I will at some point in time. And the way you could do that is as you're squeezing down, once it kind of reaches a threshold, it locks itself pretty easy. The problem is there's a rubber bumper here to stop the metal from hitting the metal. And if you don't keep your hand on the rubber, you can end up with your finger getting pinched right in here as it comes down, and it kind of hurts. Probably could hurt more if it was metal on metal, but it is something to be aware of. But I think you'll only do it once, and you'll probably learn from that experience. It's easy to clean. It fits all different size fruit. It has this shielding around it, so it doesn't squeeze the fruit all over your desk, your table, your bar. So far, it's worked pretty well. It can still create a mess. You'll still have things drip on your bar, but if you're going to be creating lots of fresh pressed juice really quickly, and if you have watched our video on fresh pressed orange juice and why you should use that over bottled orange juice because all bottled orange juice has artificial flavor packs in it, this is your real solution. This will get you your screwdrivers and everything faster. What I wouldn't recommend is hanging on it like this because it's going to tip up and drive right into your forehead, and that would just be stupid. Hold the base, press it down, repeat as necessary. That is how you juice. That's the Juniper Commercial Press, my new favorite toy. Question of the day, what is your favorite bar tool? What you need to do now is watch the video suggested here, down here, and subscribe to the show. We're teaching you how to drink.